And coming to these are part of your foundation objects. And coming to the other type of objects, your employment objects. Your employment objects and the personal object is more of the data related to your employees or the persons in the organization. Okay, and as we are talking about the persons, you can see one of those things is the employment object, another is a personal object. Personal object is more of like things that are closely related to the personal information, the dependent detail, their personal address, all these things goes into your personal objects. Whereas the data that is related to the employee, but they are used to carry out the employee duties in the organization, will go into the employment objects, guys. Okay, and where you are going
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, 1 second.
Please. Thank you.
So both this person object related to employee. So both the things are related to employee. The data is going to be related to the employee, but person object is more of like related to the personal information, and they can be anything like what do you call their contact information, employee contact information, their address details, and their biographical information, and whatnot, like there is
Date of birth.
date of birth, biographical information. All these things, their emergency contact details, their dependents. So all these things, their work, not work permit, guys. All these things are going to be built using your personal object. Whereas coming to the yeah.
Raghu, a small request. Is it possible you can send these notes to us?
Yeah, that's the reason I'm writing it. Guys. I'll share these notes after the session. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. So employment objects. So your employment objects are related to the employee, but they are specific to the job in the organization, and they are like your employee job information and their employment information, their compensation information, their hire date, and pay components, anything, etc., are all going to be fall under your employment objects. And your generic objects is part of your metadata framework platform, where any sort of custom application can be built, or the custom objects can be built using these generic objects, guys. The reason why they came up with these generic objects, or the reason why they came up, is because they want to get rid of these data models, guys. Because your data models is related to your provisioning account, and you have two systems, right? If you go to your project, you have the one is the instance, the front end, and another is the back end, your provisioning account or the provisioning system. So maintaining these two systems is a tedious job, or it is going to cost for the implementation, and that is the reason you can see a lot of those things has been migrated. Most of the functionality which used to be in the provisioning system is keep on migrating to the instance itself, guys. And one of the such kind of activity is your metadata framework, where initially they just released the metadata framework with the generic objects, but right now you can see all the foundation objects which used to go in your corporate data model XML file, they migrated to generic objects. And with that migration, you don't need to work on the XML files, or you don't need to log into your provisioning system to load the XML file. You can configure those objects using this generic objects metadata framework itself. Okay. These are the 4 different types of objects that you see across your employee central system, guys. And an example of your generic object is a position, guys. Position is your generic object. It doesn't fall under your either foundation, or it doesn't fall under your employment objects. It is a generic object, and your configuration of your generic objects is going to happen from your configure object definition in the administrative tool. And someone might ask you, put your question, guys, where you are going to configure, let's say prior to B1505, where you are going to configure your foundation objects. it is your corporate data model. And where you are going to configure your employment objects, it is your succession data model. Where you are going to configure your personal objects, it is your succession data model. Where you are going to configure your generic objects, it doesn't fall into any of the data models, but you will be configuring that using this configure object definition tool. Okay, and to continue configuring these things, guys, to get familiar with, yeah,
For generic objects, then there is no XML file, right?
yes, there is no XML file for your generic objects.
Yeah, because it is in the metadata framework. That's why they want to remove. I think they want to come out of this XML options. That's why they.
Yeah, that is the reason. Like they don't want to go with these XML files or the provisioning system itself, guys. That's the roadmap. I mean, that's the idea behind migrating all these things to your instance. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So what we'll be doing is we'll be following a configuration workbook, guys, with respect to your foundation objects and your employment objects. Let me show you that. This is just a template, guys. I'll show you how to read this configuration workbook, and we'll be carrying out couple of changes that has been requested with. Let me start with the foundation objects. And you see here all your foundation object entities has been mentioned here, and this is how your configuration workbook is going to look like, guys. And out of this, you see here all the changes that the customer is requesting under the legal entity object has been captured in this spreadsheet. And how you are going to read this spreadsheet is, you see the ones that has been mentioned here with the orange color, they are the ones where the customer is requesting a change, guys. Okay, and say external code. So we are in the legal entity object. Okay, we are in the legal entity object, and if you talk about the field with a technical ID of external code, and the standard success factors provided label for that is legal entity ID. And what customer is requesting is, like, there is a change that customer is requesting. You can see under the customer label column, the customer is requesting it should be made to wheel ID. And this organization ACME is requesting the change. Yes, you can see they are mentioning, yes, they are requesting a change. What the change is, they want to rename the standard success factors provided label for the legal entity ID to wheel ID.
What is wheel ID, Raghu?
It's a label. See, usually in SAP we call it the company code, right? You can see in success factor they are being called as the legal entity ID. Say if I want to go back to 1 second, enable editing.
It's just the name of the
That label, whatever we represent on the screen. Let's say okay. I'll show you how it looks like. Let's say this is going to be. So this is my change, and also you can see on the second row, they're calling this legal entity as a wheel. The ones which has been highlighted in this orange color, concentrate on that, guys. Those are the changes. Let's say this is going to be, I want to call it as a company code. Okay. Let's take these three requirements, guys. The one that I just highlighted, the one in the column 2, row 2, and row 5 and row 6. So one of the changes, I don't want to call my organization legal entity as legal entity. It should be called as a company code. So where you will be able to see the legal entity is right now. If you go to your manage data, whenever you are trying to populate the legal entity records or any of the MDF Foundation objects records, you go to this manage data and you will be searching for a legal entity, right? You see here, because right now my organization is using the legal entity as the name to call the company code. Let me click on this legal entity. You see here everywhere it is being displayed as a legal entity. But I don't want to display it as a legal entity, but I want to display it as a company code in my organization. And here I don't want to see it as a wheel ID or wheel name. I want to display it as a company code, and it is going to be company name. So how I am going to do this configuration change is, I have to, this is the requirement. This is how you are going to get the requirement, guys. Let's say, let me take these three requirements here. One is your company code, another is your the legal entity is going to be replaced with company code, and the field name legal entity ID is going to be replaced with company code, and the legal entity name is going to be replaced with company name. So how I'll be doing the change is, the configuration change is, I have to go back to your configure object definition, because your legal entity is part of your MDF foundation objects. I have to go to configure object definition. Here, not creating an object. Your legal entity is already available. The object is already available, guys. Search for legal entity. You can see legal entity. Okay, and I want to call the object. You can see the legal entity. I don't want to call it the legal entity. This is the name of your object, but my legal entity should be called as a company code. See here, this is the object name, and I don't want to call it as a legal entity. I want to call it as, my organization wants to call it as a company code. So let me put the company code here. You see here, and the second requirement is like, if the field, the external code field, if you go here, so you can see the external code field. This is the technical database field name, the technical field ID, and if you click on these details, there is a label field, guys. Yeah, you see here the label. So as per my organization, I want to call it as a company code. Let me put it here. Okay, and if you want to maintain the description in different languages, you can just click on that. You can maintain all these things here, guys, but let me keep it as a English for now, and let me click on done. And the other field that we are interested is the legal entity name, or the name is the technical field ID. Where is the name field? Click on that. You can see I want to call it as a company name. So these are the three changes that I did in my configure object definition, which means that in the MDF foundation objects, the legal entity MDF foundation object. Let me save these changes. Just a second, guys. It's taking some time to. Quickly must data source value provided is not a valid. You want to save. Okay, your changes has been saved, right? Now if you want to go and verify these changes, you have to go to your creation of your legal entity. And how you are going to create your legal entity is, go to your manage data, and you want to create a new legal entity. So you can see it is no more called as a legal entity. I am not able to find a legal entity here because we changed that to company code. You see here, I changed my object name, right? I replaced the legal entity object name with a company code. What it is, guys?
So I have one question.
Hello?
Go ahead, guys.